Watch and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I want to discuss Johnny Cash's fourth release for Rick Rubin's American, and that, of course, is American Recordings 4, The Man Comes Around. And this would be, this is like New Cash. That's how I'll refer to him, as New Cash. This is like New Cash's Americana, With The Offspring, they had achieved a lot of success prior to Americana. But then when Americana hit with Why Don't You Get a Job and Pretty Fly for a White Guy, Jesus Christ, did they really, really explode at that point. Like as if The Offspring weren't big enough. But then with Americana, things got too big. And this is Johnny Cash's Americana. From his American years. I don't want anybody from a long-standing fan of Cash, I don't want you critiquing this thinking like, well, no, actually it wasn't. His first big record was back in blah, blah. I'm just speaking strictly about his American years when he was signed to Rick Rubin's label and the last handful of releases that he put out before he died. So this, for me, this is the one that blew him up with the kids. Okay, Delia's Gone did a really good job of reintroducing him to the younger generation. But this is the one that fucking solidified the fact that Cash was going to be cool with the kids forever. And that is, of course, due to the strength of his cover of the Nine Inch Nails track Hurt, which that song was brutal enough to begin with, right? I mean, Reznor was like 25 when he wrote that. And so you can only imagine his mental state for him to feel compelled to, whoa, and we lost my light. My light just died. And which one should I put on to replace it? I'll grab this one here. There we go. It's a little on the bright side. Does that match? No, that doesn't match, but who cares? So anyways, yes. Where was I going with this? I was talking about, oh yes, Reznor was 25, and I can only imagine what his mental state must have been for him to write that song in his mid-20s. But for Johnny Cash to be presented to this, he was presented the song, of course, like usual, by Rick Rubin. And if I'm not mistaken, initially he had passed on the song. He wasn't really wild about it. And Rubin was insistent that he give it like another look, give it like a little deeper look. And it worked because Cash covered it. And then the video, I think, did Mark Romanek direct that? Hey, Google, who directed Johnny Cash's video for Hurt?
Mark Romanek. According to Wikipedia, the music video was directed by former Nine Inch Nails collaborator Mark Romanek, who sought to capture the essence of Cash, both in his youth and in his older years.
Yes, so Google has confirmed it. Mark Romanek is the person responsible for directing the video. Not to mention the fact that the video does such a good job of solidifying the tragedy. And it's solidifying the justification for them to use a song like Hurt. Because the video, of course, if you haven't seen it, it just essentially shows like Cash's career and how it was kind of over. And how like there's a Johnny Cash museum that's closed to the public. And how it's like his best years were behind him. Of course, this is completely overlooking the fact that because Rick Rubin reintroduced him to the younger generations, that it would completely reinvigorate Cash's career. But the video for Hurt, it just sort of shows the loss. And it's incredible. I'm not knocking it. It's an incredible video for an incredible cover, for an incredible song. But it does really only focus on the bad. Anyways, other tracks on here that are absolutely essential, of course, is The Man Comes Around, which was used incredibly well at the beginning of the Sarah Polley Dawn of the Dead remake, starring Ving Rhames and Sarah Polley. Who the hell else was in that movie? Doesn't matter. Mekhi Phifer, that's right, he was in that. Doesn't matter. It was used brilliantly for the opening credits of the 2004 remake, I believe, of George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, And it's used so incredibly well because that's kind of what the song is about. It's about how things are going to change for the worse when the man comes around. The four horsemen, the fucking sky's going to open, and death and pestilence and war and famine or whatever, they're all going to come down. They're going to be on their big diseasey horses fucking with us all. That's amazing on here. Give My Love to Rose is on here. I Hung My Head. Oh my God. It's like as if this record wasn't tragic enough by him covering the Nine Inch Nails' incredibly tragic song Hurt. And then they decided to toss on I Hung My Head. I mean, that's like one of the best songs I've ever heard, but it's also one of the saddest songs I've ever heard. So that's on here. Oh, that's right. He covers Depeche Mode with Personal Jesus. And of course, again, he does a fantastic job. See, this is like the record for the kids, you know, well, so to speak. I mean, I don't exactly know if in come 2003, the 1994 song from the Nine Inch Nails or the fucking Personal Jesus from... Hey, Google, when did Depeche Mode release Personal Jesus? There it is. So Personal Jesus was released in 89 and Hurt was released in 94. And here it is, 2003. And he has been completely reinvented as sort of like a hip young guy, which is a strange thing because that was true, especially through the first few American releases. But now he's a lot older. And this is Cash at the end of his life. And it's sad. Not nearly as sad as 100 Highways would be. But this record, he's starting to show his age, and he's getting older and older, and that makes this record incredibly sad. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discuss Johnny Cash's fourth record for Rick Rubin's American Records, and that is American 4, The Man Comes Around. Like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody, but most importantly, don't forget that you are amazing, and I really appreciate all of you. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe. And we will see you guys really soon.